here, so we are waiting them actually, so we can start in 2 minutes, Barbara, if you feel comfortable, like in a minute, like 11 past 5, we can start actually.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay, it's 5 past 10. Okay. Dear participants, I'm delighted to welcome each one of you at this webinar. Today's event is primarily intended to intermediary organizations and consulting companies who support SMEs with a variety of services. The agenda is therefore adjusted to strengthen the capacities of intermediaries with knowledge of CBAM and deeper insights into how different countries cope with twin transition and sustainability. I would like you, in case you have any questions, that you write them into chat, and we will later on answer them all or write the answers later on to your emails. It depends on the question. So my name is Barbara Janča Rozman, and I'm coming from Slovenia as one of the partners companies that we are working at this Seabridge project. And I will introduce you now first the Seabridge project as such. The consortium consists of 7 members. EMIP is a professional establishment incorporating 6 mineral and metal exporters associations. They were established in affiliation with the Ministry of Trade, and they have nearly 71,000 members. So therefore they have a strong insights into the company's needs. And that is why they were able to draw up a comprehensive project we are talking about today, and therefore they also have a role of coordinator to implement this project. Next organization, which works also as a professional establishment, is our Chamber of Craft and Small Business of Kamnik. It's one of 62 independent regional chambers in Slovenia and operates under the umbrella organization located in our capital, Ljubljana. Our role is to represent the interests of SMEs in social dialogue, and of course we serve as a business hub for networking and providing SMEs with a wide range of services. Then we have 2 partners coming from Spain. FEUGA is a flagship organization from Galicia and has more than 40 years of experience in the field of innovation and the transfer of knowledge and technology between universities, industry, and society in general. QI Aero is a team of experts that facilitates the sustainability and digital transition in hard-to-abate emission industries. Then we have 2 partners coming from Ireland. ERNACT is a non-profit international network for European cities and regions. Their members are public service organizations and universities. They jointly pursue digital transformation funding, development, and transfer of know-how opportunities. The network of regions has now 12 live digital transformation projects, innovating 50 regions and organizations. Our second partner from Ireland is F6S. This is a global network for startups and entrepreneurs. They provide a platform for startups that they can be connected with investors, mentors, partners, and other resources. This is quite a huge platform. And then our partner, CIPES, comes from Palermo, Italy. It's a nonprofit international organization that has expertise in education, lifelong learning, vocational training, and of course, they participate in many different EU programs. So a few words about our Seabridge project. The main objective of the project is to increase the capacity of SMEs in the transition towards greener and more resource-efficient processes. We are also committed to assist SMEs in the adoption of CBAM legislation. By sharing best practices, we hope to boost potential new partnerships and the transfer of best practices between countries. The content of the project is based on the European environmental legislation, which addresses greenhouse gas emissions and introduces measures that will guide us to become a carbon neutral society. So the project is building a bridge, connecting project partners, intermediaries, experts, and SMEs in EU and third countries to find approaches to understanding the legislation and for smoother green and digital transition. The project, of course, is co-financed by European Union. The target groups we are addressing with our activities are divided into three parts. The most important one are social economy SMEs, working in energy-intensive industry. Then the important target group are also intermediary organizations, which provide support services to SMEs, and of course, any other interested groups, like representatives of public authorities, journalists, and all those who maybe have knowledge or they have methods that we could use in this manner. We are talking about, so everybody who is interested in twin transition and so on. So maybe just an explanation, what does social economy SME stands for, because this is important in our future activities. This is an entity that has its primary objective the achievement of measurable, positive, and social impacts rather than generating profit for its owners. So to keep in mind in next activities that you will be maybe involved too. What have been done so far? The Seabridge project was launched at the beginning of October last year, and up to now we have conducted quite a few comprehensive research studies, a study on CBAM legislations. We have also conducted interviews with SMEs and experts on getting a deeper insight how what is the understanding of CBAM legislation, and then we have also identified funding opportunities that are available for SMEs. We have also done research on best practices in green and digital transition in energy-intensive industries. What we are proud of, we have also launched two of our communication channels. This is our web page and LinkedIn profile. You are all kindly invited to follow us on these two profiles, while by sharing project updates, we can achieve a larger population of target groups and US intermediary organizations and consulting companies, of course, can help us with that. And so that means we will achieve our aims, maybe even in a larger scale than planned. On our webpage, you can always find information about webinars, about planned activities. We are proud to announce that we are soon going to open open call, which means the financial support for SMEs. And you can also find on our webpage the first webinar that we organized. The recording is published on the website already. So collaborating with us brings effort to all of us, to intermediaries, to partners, and especially to SMEs, which have to overcome their challenges in green and digital transition. In near future, we are planning some more activities, some more webinars, trainings, advisory sessions. As mentioned already, we are preparing financial support for SMEs. We are planning some best practice visits, and we are developing also guidelines for SMEs to understand deeply the CBAM implementation and have possibilities to find information about financial possibilities in EU and national level. And we will try to disseminate the project in activities as much as it's possible. So activities to coming up shortly are 3 national webinars that will be organized in May for Turkey and Spain, and then in June it's coming in Slovenia. Then we have another webinar for intermediaries in June 13th. At that webinar, we are going to talk about EU funding and national funding, and we will present 3 more best practices, and 3 are going to be presented today later on. And as I mentioned already, there is open call for SMEs coming in July, and it will be published as said on our webpage. So this is all from my side, presenting the Seabridge project. Now I'm giving the word to Amaya Matas, a colleague from QI Aero, to present a CBAM regulation from the point of view of intermediaries. Amaya, welcome.
Hello, good morning to everyone. Thank you, Barbara. Well, I will explain to you a little bit about the CBAM regulation today. And the first thing is to explain to you shortly what this is about. The most important thing, this is a tax mechanism that supports the decarbonization strategies and is also a mechanism to fight carbon leakage. But the most important thing, I mean, it is applied to the imported goods entering the EU market, and they have to pay a price for their carbon emissions. But important, they are comparable to the price paid by EU domestic producers. I mean, it's a task mechanism, but the mainly aim of this mechanism is to encourage cleaner industrial production in non-EU countries as well as in EU countries. And this mechanism is aligned with the phase out of free allowances under the EU emissions trading systems to support the decarbonization. Well, this regulation applies to the imports of certain goods and precursors and intermediate products in these 6 sectors that we have out here, but it is expected to be extended to maybe all or mainly fast all of the goods subject to the EU ETAs. The thing is that this we are now in a transitional period, and this transitional period is to serve as a pilot and learning period for all stakeholders. I mean, importers, producers, and authorities, and to collect useful information on embedded emissions to refine the methodology. So it looks like the definite period, we have a definite regulation and a transitional one, but we don't know if something is going to change because, as I said, this is a pilot process period, and they will take some decisions after analyzing the data that they are collecting right now. So the sectors were before. Here we have the countries that are applied by this regulation. We have the EU countries that import from non-EU countries, and these are called in this regulation reporting declarants. Then we have the non-EU countries that they are exporting goods to EU countries, and they are called operators in this regulation. And there are some exceptions that we have listed here. As I said, we are now in the transitional period. This transitional period entered into application on 1st October 2023. The main characteristic of this period is that EU importers only have to comply with quarterly reporting requirements. I mean, they have to report only on a quarterly basis, and they are not subject to any financial obligations. Then from 2026, the definite period begins, and the main difference is that the CBAM declarations, that are these reports, will take place only yearly, and there are some financial obligations. But as we said, we are today focusing on this transitional period. We have talked about operators and declarants. Operators are the producers in non-EU countries. And well, if you want to know if you are an operator, what you have to do, the first thing is to check the CN codes of your products that appear in Annex 1 of the regulation. And if you are producing them and you are selling them to the EU, you are an operator. Also, if you are producing them and you sell them to other companies that with these products will manufacture CBAM goods, or also if you sell your products to traders that they export their products to the European Union. Also, these CN codes in the Annex 1 of the regulation are the important ones. Then, what are the obligations of an operator, a producer of a non-EU country, if you are producing CBAM goods? You have, I mean, the most important thing, you have to calculate the embedded emissions. And also you have to provide some information to the importer you are selling your goods. This information is about some data of your installation, what production process are you following, and other information that you will have this. You will find this information when you have to. There are some samples of reports. You will know everything. So a lot of information here, but the most important thing, these embedded emissions. The emissions are a little bit different according to the sectors. Here we have the sectors, and we see them, all of them, they have to report on the carbon dioxide. And fertilizers and aluminium, they have to report on other goods also. There is a difference between the transitional period and the definitive period. Now we find us in the transitional period, and producers will have to report on direct and indirect emissions, for electricity only direct. And there are some methodologies to calculate these emissions. In this transitional period, the Commission is being very flexible with these methodologies. Producers can choose among some possibilities. We have what we call fuel calculation method that the EU has developed. Then there are some equivalent methods that every country may be applying. And until July 2024, there is also the possibility of calculating these emissions according to default emission values. This is a very easy way to do this and to have an idea of what we're talking about, because it's organized in the different sectors. And you have only to look at how many tons of goods are you importing, and then you calculate it with a factor, and you know around how many emissions you are emitting. But as I said, this is only until July 2024. Until the end of the year, we will that will be accepted this similar emissions methodologies from different countries, and then from 2025 on, there is a calculation methodology that the Commission has developed. I've been talking about the operators, that they have to calculate emissions and provide some information. And now we have the importers, also called CBAM declarants in the regulation. And what they have to do is to check if the goods they are importing are listed in this annex that I mentioned before. They will have to register it through the National Competent Authority. We will talk about this later. For the CBAM transitional registry, and then they have to submit a quarterly report in this transitional registry. So gather the data from the operator, register it, and supply the report. Here we have a scheme of how is it about. We have the operators of installations in non-EU countries. They are giving their information to the reporting declarants or importers, and these importers have to prepare the CBAM report and provide it to the European Commission. There are some declarations, customs declarations with the customs authorities, as always, and the host customs authorities may inform the importers if they are missing some information. Also, the European Commission will analyze the information received and will be in contact with these national competent authorities, and there will be always a feedback if something is needed. So information is going all sides, and if the importer has been said something, I mean, some information is missing, they have to give this information. If they don't do it, there will be some penalties. So already in the transitional period, we will have there is the possibility of having penalties if you don't fulfill the requirements. Then, very important, very useful, the European Commission has prepared this web page that we can find under this link. But the link is very long. We can also simply go to a searcher and write CBAM EU, and then we will get direct to this web page. And here there are some tools that we can use. It's very useful web page. In this web page, we have these contents. There is information about the CBAM in general, definitive regime, also in the transitional phase, where to report all the requirements, and some guidance. And what is very important, there is some information specific for each sector. So if you are affected in one of these sectors, you will have a specific information and documents only for the sector you are working with. Also, the Commission has developed the CBAM Transitional Registry to help importers perform and report as part of their CBAM regulations. Access to this registry should be requested through the national competent authorities. So if you haven't registered and you wish to access to the registry, you have to reach out to your national competent authority in your respective member state, and then you will get some access. If you don't know what these national competent authorities are, in this same web page we are talking about, there is a list of national competent authorities that you can download, and you can search what is interesting for you. Other information that we can download in this web page is, for example, the Transitional CBAM Registry User Manual for Declarants. Here you will have a comprehensive description of how this CBAM registry works, the transitional one. We are talking about the transitional period the whole time. And also there are quarterly report structures. Everything you need to do in your report, you can download it here and you will have some guidance. Again, there are several things we can download, and also we have a sample file of this quarterly report for importers, or an already report that has been fulfilled, and you can check for information. And you have also the structure in XLS format that will help you fulfilling the report. Also in this XLS format, you will have some optional and mandatory fields. I mean, they are marked with different colors, and some predefined values are still there, so it's quite helpful. There are all other guidance documents, like this CBAM implementation for importance of goods in the EU. They guide you through the whole process. And this document that you can download is already available in 23 languages. So it's available for everyone. There is also this other guidance document on CBAM implementation for installation operators, for the producers in non-EU countries. You can also download it in English. It's also available already in Arabic, Hindi, and Turkish, and will be available in Chinese, French, German, Italian, and other languages very soon. And also the Commission has developed some IT tools to help importers perform and report the calculations. Then also I want to point out that in this webpage, there is an ongoing information process. They are every time updating the information. And for example, here I have brought a couple of examples. There is a recording of info session on the CBAM transitional registry, everything you need to know, what you have to do in English, and it's there, and you can watch it every time you want. And for example, now in a couple of days, we will have some presentation of an overview of the technical and practical aspects of this CBAM transitional registry, this time in Spanish. So again, it's very likely that they are doing it in another language very soon. We have it in English, we have it in Spanish, and they are constantly offering new tools. So I really recommend you to visit this webpage. As I said before, there is a link, but if you write CBAM EU, you will get direct to the webpage. And as a summary, last summary, what do have operators, producers, and non-EU countries do? They have to calculate the embedded emissions and provide some information. Without this information, the importers cannot import the goods. So we both, I mean, non-EU producers and importers, we have to work together and to cooperate, otherwise nothing can be imported to the EU. And the importers of the, also called CBAM declarants, they will have to register for the CBAM transitional registry and prepare these quarterly reports. And all this is in the transitional period. Well, we are now, that starting on October 2023, quarterly reports and calculation of embedded emissions. But from 1st January 2025, the definite period is starting. And all important that wants to import something have to apply as an authorized CBAM declarant to this national authority. And the operators will have to register their installations also in the registry. And then they will have to start doing yearly reports. But as I said, this will be in the future. We are right now here. And that's all about the CBAM. I hope we help you with the main ideas for this transitional period. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amaya, for this presentation. And I am now pleased to pass the floor to esteemed speakers from Turkey Exporters Assembly, who will be presenting on the InnoSud project, a significant initiative fostering innovation and strengthening the infrastructure of SME. Welcome.
Gökhan Bey.
We can hear you.
Ee,
I think you can start.
Sorry, he is not here now.
Gökhan Bey, are you there?
No, he's not here.
Okay, so I may start if you wish. Okay, I think he's asking to allow him because his microphone. Okay.
Mehmet Bey, hello. I couldn't speak. And now my voice is open. Hello, everyone. My name is Gökhan Ezgin, the manager of Strategy Innovation Department. I want to make a brief information about Turkey Exporters Assembly. Dear distinguished guests, we are really happy to be in this workshop as Turkey Exporters Assembly. We have this international peer learning workshop to help all of us explore new areas and learn from best practice. I'd also like to thank Seabridge for organizing this workshop. As I said, I want to give very brief information about Turkey Exporters Assembly. TİM is the only umbrella organization of Turkish exports, representing more than 140,000 exporters operating in 27 sectors in Turkey. Our assembly, which prepares strategic plans for the development of our country's economy and exports, and shares them with government, coordinates important projects such as export strategy, innovation strategy, incubation centers, and sustainability projects. We as TİM contribute to the efforts to ensure our exporters have an advantage in production and foreign trade by creating an ecosystem in R&D, design, and entrepreneurship. For this goal, our assembly carries out projects to improve the innovation edge of our exporting companies. Today, our academic coordinators will give you detailed information about our project. Now, I am giving floor to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I am Mehmet Aydın. We are going to share our best practice. We call it best practice because you will see that it has been very successful in terms of number of projects and also number of people involved. The title actually emphasized two important aspects of this program, InnoSeed program. First, the idea is that mentors, they are very key to help organizations to design and implement their company-specific innovation system. And the other aspect is that we do this by using one of the first, I would say, flexible, adaptable model. And in this regard, companies can be able to design their own system. And the title also emphasizes that developing such program is one thing, but sustaining in the sense that have to actually achieve ecosystem by the help of different actors. I would say this is also something we are very into this program. Okay, so I'm going to also introduce my associates. I am one of the academic coordinators of this program, but other coordinators, Dr. Ceyda Ovacı, Dr. Serkan Altuntaş, and Dr. Merih Pasin, they are also contributing to this coordination efforts. The fact is that as coordinators, we have different backgrounds, but we are also very into industry experiences in terms of providing innovation mentorship. And these differences in terms of competencies, the way we look at innovation, they're all very valuable. Actually, that is what we are very happy to bring all these differences. So what is the essentials of this program, InnoSeed program? It is nationwide, mentor-supported program. There are three important pillars underpinning this program. On the one hand, universities, along with their expertise, mentors, they have both actually industry experience and also academic competencies. They contribute to this program. And of course, the other pillar is that industry itself, companies who are demanding and needing actually this kind of innovation system. And to coordinate all this effort, we need a third party, which is team and their export associations. These three pillars are the critical components or the critical actually elements of the program. Why this program has been considered as a best practice? Because if you look at the numbers, we have reached more than 2,200 successful completed innovation system project. Of course, there were so many applications from industry because the idea is that companies apply to this program and then there is an initial assessment and the same holds for mentors as well. So we managed to attract so many candidate mentors, more than 1,000 actually mentor as candidates, but in the end, only less than 100 actually mentors are actively involved in this program. So the program makes a very special matching between companies and the mentor. And after that, there is a one-year program that is really very intensive in terms of designing the innovation system and implementing system. What this number also shows us that the program is so successful in reaching out various regions, almost all regions in Turkey, and attracting so many universities, so many industries with different scale as well. So this is something that we are very proud of, showing that the program was successful in actually implementing innovation system at different levels, at different needs. So this is what we can see, that still the program is successful in terms of growing and attracting more companies and more mentors. So what was the idea of this program? The program actually, we were well aware that everyone is talking about innovation system, but the challenge was and has been actually have to achieve successful innovation. That's why the program is putting effort on focusing enterprise level innovation system, because if you look at different level of focus, one can look at programs at the country level, region level, but this program is specifically at the company level. Now I will give words to my colleague, Serkan Hoca, to explain, what are the typical problems that we address with this problems about innovation with this program. Serkan Hoca?
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Here, thanks a lot for this opportunity. Here you see some of the reasons why innovation management fails. Actually, innovation management can fail for a variety of reasons in practice, many of which stem from organization dynamics, cultural factors, or organizational shortcomings. Here are some common reasons why innovation management initiatives may fail in practice. InnoSeed program tried to remove all these shortcomings in practice by matching good mentors to the firm established in industry. In the industry here refers to the both service industry and manufacturing industries. Here, InnoSuite program mainly draw a picture that focus on the main sentences. Intentions are there, but methods are lacking. Here, the InnoSuite program mainly focus on these aspects of the industry. Thanks a lot. Mehmet Hocam.
Yes, I'm trying to. Okay, so this is exactly the program actually started with the idea that we need novel method, novel know-how, and also some unique policy suggestions. And at the heart of this program, as I said, adapted system for organization, and this is where the model is very critical aspect of this system. The model is actually referring to address the pitfalls, the problems, as we just mentioned, like typical problems companies face. So there are 6 dimensions that will govern, or that will actually put all these efforts in a framework. And eventually, the idea is to achieve sustainable innovation performance. These dimensions are also articulated with a number of activities. So you can imagine that the system is like a black box. There is an input, there is an output, there is a process, and there are a lot of factors contributing to make the system successful. Basically, the model is flexible in order to adjust or make it more company-specific roadmap. And for companies have different roadmaps to implement the system. And usually in the end of the first month, after making a very comprehensive evaluation, capacity evaluation done by mentor, the roadmap is designed and implemented with the help of mentor. And after 12 months, there is an exit assessment based on 20 performance indicators. And for each item, there is a measure from 1 to 5. If the company achieves an average 80% of the overall performance, it is considered as successful. So these more than 200 companies, they have achieved this score. There is also another assessment for the performance of the company. We call it the output, and there are numerous outputs company can actually measure or can use to monitor their performance. Of course, the number of ideas, the quality of ideas, the number of patents, sales ratio in terms of innovative products. So you can imagine that there are so many performance indicators. How did we achieve this ecosystem establishment or the development? Well, this is all started with a workshop, and I remember very well. I'm also in this picture, and also my colleagues as well. In end of 2016, a group of very enthusiastic academics, also together with company representative, we started this workshop, and this workshop continued with a number of knowledge sharing, let's say, events. And every 3 months, companies come together with mentors and company representative, and they share their experiences. This experience share is very critical because the system, actually the program, has its own knowledge pool or knowledge management, where this 12-month program is actually is well defined in terms of number of activities and specific outcomes. So there is a generic roadmap provided in the beginning of the project for each company, but there is room for making adjustment. And for every month, there is a very clear actually description of activities, techniques, and also outputs expected for the companies. And every, let's say, term, that means every term is about the 30 companies, we are also conducting impact analysis. And after making this impact analysis, it turned out that the initial program needs to be designed in terms of what we call the tracks, because companies have different readiness level. So based on the readiness level, it turned out that we need to have 4 different tracks. These tracks are specifically let's say, match based on the initial assessment of the company. So if you are very, very early or very premature in terms of innovation, you will join to preparation track, which only takes 5 months. Otherwise, you will join one of the 3 tracks. The last track, which is the actually, we call it the exporting champions. They are big companies. The program is for like 12 plus 12 months. So if you look at these tracks in terms of, let's say, the project duration, the mentor support, they are really different. And we really see that this track-based innovation program was very successful. And because this readiness is so critical that based on what you see, 15 questions, we were able to actually assess companies' performance initially and then match their track suitability. Well, there are so many companies, but we don't have time. We recently also introduced another initiative, not only InnoSeed program companies to be assessed, but also nationally all other companies, so that we can actually have what we call the Turkey Innovation Map. And this study and the report can be found. There were more than 100 companies join us. Most of them were non-InnoSeed programs. And based on the same model we use for InnoSeed companies, we were able to actually have the big picture of Turkey Innovation Map. And it turned out that, as actually Serkan Hoca mentioned, intention is there, motive is there, which is like a cultural aspect, like a relatively high, but the method, know-how is missing. And that is also showing the importance of why these mentor-supported programs are successful. And if you look at the impact of successfully completed innovation programs, we see significant performance improvements, and these are the some of the benchmarks actually we use just to see how companies actually make significant improvement. But we did not stop here, because this ecosystem actually allows us to create a number of spin-off projects or program actually, and my associate Ceyda Hoca is going to talk about 2 spin-off programs that we launched very recently. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to briefly give information about the programs carried out under the umbrella of Turkish Export Assembly regarding sustainability. Actually, we have categorized the support we provide to companies regarding sustainability in 2 different ways. One of them is a project that includes capacity measurements and roadmap creation, which will actually enable small and medium-sized companies to take the first step in green transformation. And this project is supported and funded by the Scientific and Technological Research Council of Turkey. The main purpose of the project is to enable SMEs to create a plant management system on the path to sustainability and to initiate change processes towards defining adaptable green technologies. Small and medium-sized companies are accepted into program after their maturity levels in green transformation are measured, and then for a period of 6 months, companies create a roadmap with mentors who are expert in green transformation and sustainability as well. In addition, gap analysis will be carried out and areas that need to be improved will be identified to show companies how they will actually be able to compete. The other program is the EcoTeam program, which we designed based on the experiences we gained from the university program. As Professor Mehmet stated, we found that companies are confused about which path or which way they should follow in sustainability management. As an innovation manager, they had these experiences. EcoTeam program is a program actually that appeals to all companies, regardless of scale or sector. And approximately 30 scientists work to create the phases of the sustainable management system implemented in the program as we did in the InnoSeed program. Within the scope of the program, which lasts approximately 16 months, companies work together with mentors who are experts in the field of sustainability. And for 11 months, they try to create a corporate sustainability system in the organization. In the system, we have 7 different phases, and these are expected to complete in line with 20 targets. And the program is actually starting in June 2024. And the main purpose of the program is, again, to prevent sustainability in companies from becoming a reporting-oriented structure and to establish a more comprehensive management system, which is output is a sustainability report. In both programs, the participating companies are supported by different funds. In the first program, the TÜBİTAK program, TÜBİTAK is funding 50% of the project, and companies also need to be pay only 10% of the cost of the project. When it comes to the EcoTeam program, actually 50% of the cost of the project funded by TEAM, Turkish Expert Assembly, and companies only pay the rest of the project's cost at all. And if you have any question, we would be happy to answer about both programs. Then I'll give word to Mehmet Hoca again. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all actually. And if you need more information, feel free to visit our website. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all to this presentation. This is really a significant initiative, maybe to transfer to other countries. That's also the aim of our Seabridge project, maybe to bring some new ideas to partners countries. Now I would like to pass the floor to Ms. Kathleen O'Regan from Enterprise Ireland. Ms. Kathleen, are you with us? We will hear what the Green Transition Fund is providing to SMEs in Ireland in their way to decarbonization. Ms. Kathleen?
We cannot hear you.
You couldn't hear me or Kathleen? Miss Kathleen?
Miss Kathleen, probably you're having a technical problem, and we offer you to go out and just join again. Maybe we will solve the problem again, and we will jump to the next presentation, and then we will inform you. Okay? Thank you. Diğeri kim ya?
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, Barbara.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is how it goes with webinars. Technical problems can occur. I'm now passing the floor to the representative of Slovene Enterprise Fund. I'm very pleased to welcome Anna Brezovček. Anna, are you with us?
Yeah, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we do. Thank
Okay,
you,
great.
Anna.
Okay, so my name is Anna Brezovček. I work at the Slovene Enterprise Fund, and just let me see if I can scroll through the. Okay, so something about Slovene Enterprise Fund is that we are a leading national financial fund to support SMEs, startups, scale-ups. We are using really effective financial and substantive incentives. And we offer our financial help to small, micro and medium-sized enterprises. We also offer content support, and I work in the sector of vouchers, so I will be mainly focusing on that, but we also have, as I said, content support for prospective entrepreneurial ideas, and also for schools and faculties. Okay, so here are some of the Slovenian companies that we financially helped during the last years. And so let me talk more about our voucher system. We started a voucher system in the year 2019, and it's proven to be very well received in SMEs. We also had voucher for LCA analysis or LCA assessments. We actually, the eligible applicants for this voucher were SMEs with the minimum of 3 employees. And the special conditions of these vouchers was also that we actually worked very closely together with Spirit Slovenia. The Spirit Slovenia had like a catalog of external contractors that were actually expertise in the LCA analysis. So the SMEs had to pick from this catalog to get an expert. And I will just shortly show you how this is actually the Spirit report template, what SMEs had to provide for us to get the financial aid. And those were actually the guidelines that you're probably other companies and those who work who work more with the LCA analysis more familiar with than I am. So these were kind of the general guidelines for the SMEs. Then we also had the voucher for digital marketing that was very, very popular in demand for the past 4 years. The minimum incentive was from 500 euros to 7,500 euros. And actually we were providing SMEs, they could get financial aid to put up a website, a mobile app, reservational platform, and web shop. This was by far the most popular voucher of all. For an just to give you some numbers, the total number of enterprises that received funding for LCA analysis was 49, but the total number of the enterprises that received the support for digital marketing was around 2,889 SMEs that received the financial help for the digital marketing. So it was by far the most used in this field. So the next one is digital strategy. The minimum incentive here was 1,000 euros and the maximum was 9,599. The special condition was for the SMEs to have at least 5 employees. So we just contributed for the costs that were associated with an external contractor. Here at the field of all the voucher systems that were for digital marketing and strategy, we worked closely with DIH. This is Digital Innovation Hub here in Slovenia. So they also had a catalog with external contractors that were actually expertise in the field of making websites, web shops, of writing the digital strategies, and also, as I'll be talking about, cybersecurity. For the digital strategy, we had total of 770 supported enterprises. And now moving on to the cybersecurity voucher. The feature of this voucher was actually the SMEs could get financial aid for a system security review, and this was from 1,000 up to 5,000 euros. And the second option was conducting a penetration test, which was from 1,000 to up to 9,099.99 euros. Here the applicants only had to have a minimum of 1 employee. And also here we work together with Digital Innovation Hub that actually had to give a prior positive opinion before the sole application of an SME. So they would assess if it is really necessary for the SME to get, for example, a penetration test, or if not. And for example, here we had like 214 supported enterprises. So in the near future, we are planning to have an ESG voucher. We will probably be opening this voucher somewhere in like a year, we hope. So the main purpose here is to encourage the SMEs to engage in sustainable reporting, and the incentives will be available in 2 areas. The first will be promotion and training of SMEs for voluntary sustainable reporting. Here we are hoping that the funds will be available in this year. And the second area will be the providing small value incentives, the vouchers. So yeah, we hope that we will prepare, publish, and conduct a public call in the next year, and the maximum amount of funding will be also 9,999.99. And something more about our 4 pillars that we promote at the Slovene Enterprise Fund, that are deep demonstration of circular, regenerative and low carbon economy in Slovenia, sustainability, and various types of products that are aimed at promoting green transformation for SMEs, startups and scale-ups. And here is where we mostly do support the companies with the vouchers, and also the focus on the deep tech and innovation. So I won't be talking a lot about this because it's quite specific to the working of our fund. But if anyone has any questions, you can always write them in chat, and I can also provide anyone with any more information via email if anyone needs some additional infos on how the things with the vouchers are working. A very special thing that we try to kind of promote is that warranties for SMEs are related to whether a company is oriented towards being green, circular, or digital. So in that way, if they receive a certain amount of points, they can obtain a higher warranty of 80% and are eligible for actually for a lower interest rate or the 6-month Euribor. And also another one of our products is called P2, which is our incentives for launching innovative companies. Mostly the companies that must comply with at least one priority area of the smart specialization strategy, which also includes the green and circular technologies. So we have more than 30,000 companies in our active portfolio, and for about 34% of them are high-tech companies that are also focusing on green energy, that are on circular energy, and they include circular technologies in their practice. So this will be all from my side. If anyone has any additional questions, feel free to ask in the chat.
Thank you, Anna, for your presentation. I have to say that Slovenia is a small country, but the numbers you presented are quite challenging. This 34% of high-tech companies, I think. So let's see now if the technical issue is solved. We're coming back to Ms. Kathleen O'Regan from Enterprise Ireland. It sounds to me quite challenging, and some of the products are very similar to those we are offering in Slovenia. What I liked at your presentation is that we will have to change our mindsets if we want to achieve a greener and more sustainable future. My son very often says, what is good for nature is not necessarily good for me. So this means the change of mindset of everybody of us. So thank you again. We have come now for the session questions and answers. So far, I don't see any questions in our chat. So if there is something somebody would like to ask, please feel free to either ask or write to the chat. If any questions raised later on, you can always write them to our emails. You can find them either on the Seabridge webpage. Once again, I invite you to follow us on LinkedIn profile and of course on our website too. So there is no question. So let me conclude this event. We have reached the end of the content of today. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of the speakers and for all the attendees. Thank you. And I invite you all to our webinar on June 13th, where we will be presenting funding opportunities and of course 3 new best practices we will still choose in these days. I wish you all a very nice day and all the best to everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
Bye bye.
Dur ben direkt lap diye kapatmayayım.
Thank you.